Hello everybody, this is SeetherCord here, and welcome to my review of Pokémon Detective Pikachu, the movie, for Furry Review/Analysis. For today's episode, we are going to be doing our first ever movie review. I've never really been the type of person to review movies before, or TV shows or video games at all, but I want to give it a try now, and why not do it with the newly released Pokémon Detective Pikachu film? Before we start off the review, I'm going to explain to you guys that I'll be covering both the good and the bad aspects of this movie, and I will try to think objectively and fairly about the actual quality of the movie also. And when it comes to this movie being a furry-related product, like come on man, it's Pokemon. Of course it's furry-related. Furries are definitely eating this shit up now as it is. Also, be aware that this review will be spoiler-free, so don't worry about me spoiling any major plot elements in the movie. So please don't click away from this video out of fear of thinking you're gonna get spoiled if you haven't seen the movie yet. Let's first discuss all of the good aspects I saw within this movie. The overall best aspect of this movie has to be the Pokemon themselves, and the world built within the Pokemon universe. These CGI models for each Pokemon was very well designed and overall awesome to see. The filmmakers also did a very good job at developing the world. Every location that is visited within the film has personality to it and makes it interesting. Another pro to this movie is how accurate the filmmakers portrayed the Pokemon universe. As someone who has played his fair share of Pokemon games in the past, there wasn't anything that I felt was fabricated and or disrespected when it came to the Pokemon lore or the Pokemon property. So good on them for doing their research for the movie. Another huge positive for this film is Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. He is always making funny and smart remarks to keep the viewer interested in the movie full of life. Also, the character of Detective Pikachu is written very well also. And since Pikachu is one of the most important characters within this film, it's crucial that the character you follow along with for the majority of the film is written well and very strong. Since we've now covered all the generally positive things within the movie without getting into spoiler territory, let's now move into the negatives that I personally thought of the movie. For starters, one of the biggest issues with this movie has to be the human characters. I don't give fault to any of the actors for the human characters at all. I could definitely tell that they were good actors and had a lot of talent. It's just that I felt like they didn't have good enough material to work with. Pretty much every human character in this movie was boring and uninteresting to where the Pokemon pretty much had to make up for all of it. I didn't feel anything for the human characters, I didn't find any of their jokes funny, and I didn't find their motivations interesting or believable either. Another negative about this movie is the pacing and the overall structure of this movie. The first 2/3 of this movie was very fun and interesting to watch, and the movie started out very strong, cleverly getting you invested into the world and all. But when it comes to the final act of this movie, it became very slow. Since this is a detective movie slash a whodunit movie, the movie starts to develop issues and loses its traction once it gets to revealing who the villain is and the motivation behind them. I think that this also has to do with it being a video game movie, and most films based off of video games tend to have this issue also because there's too much story and information in the video game to shorten and summarize into a 2 to 3 hour film. This again wrapping into how everyone in this movie excluding the Pokemon are just overall not well written and uninteresting. I want to now mention some more neutral aspects of this movie that are neither good nor bad, but are just important aspects that I feel like you should know before you go see the film. This at its core is a kids film. This is marketed towards families and children, which I felt overall they did a very good job at appealing to young children without disrespecting their intelligence and having something fun for them to watch at the same time. If you aren't a part of this movie's targeted demographic, then the only way I feel that you could really enjoy this movie is by either being a Pokemon fan or a fan of detective films. But still, this movie has difficulty with getting the fans of detective films due to it not portraying the story genre that well. And hey, if you are a furry, you might like this movie also because the Pokemon do look really cool in their designs. Overall, I felt that this movie had a lot of major problems to it. However, I still think that it was a passable film to where if you watch this movie then you'd still get something good out of it. And on a brighter side, this is probably one of the only good video game movies also, which this aspect, and also its financial box office success, could pave the way for video game films in the future to have a more positive reputation. I'm not really the type to feel like it would be fair to rank this movie on a scale of 1 to 10 or a 1 to 5 stars ranking. If I had to give a final rating to this movie, I would overall give it a 6.25 out of 10. And that has been my review of Pokémon Detective Pikachu. Not Detective Pikachu, that's the name of the 3DS game. The movie is called Pokémon Detective Pikachu, remember that. How did you guys feel about me reviewing this movie for Furry Review/Analysis? Do you think it was a good idea, or do you think I should stick to more furry-centered topics that are not just somewhat furry-related? How do you guys feel about Detective Pikachu? Did you guys like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Have you seen the movie? Have you not seen the movie? Are you going to see the movie? Are you not going to see the movie? Let me know down in the comment section down below. If you enjoy my content and want to further help out my channel, please consider donating to my Patreon page and my Ko-fi hitting that like button, turning on that notification bell, and subscribing all together. I have been SeetherCord, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everyone. And well, yeah, we're going to continue. Can I get over there? No, I can't. I almost cracked my head open by doing that nosedive right there. That wouldn't have been good at all.